Yeah, I have a game idea for Fallout series. Like I like the last video, Fallout 1 Reloaded. Well, this one is Fallout 2 Reloaded. Same kind of concept. And like I said before, if I had the money, I would do it. I would actually build it, and it would just be me and my friends, the voice acting and stuff. So, like Fallout 2 Reloaded, um, it will start off where you kind of the basics of like Fallout 3, Rebirth, but instead of, you learning everything of the game mechanics, but it will take place like when you're born or whatever, you make your character or whatever. No, probably not birth, but have it set up like you're creating your character while uh, maybe like in Skyrim, kind of like that situation, but not you tied up, but where you're like looking into a pond and you're kind of like in Fallout 4, to looking out a mirror, maybe kind of like that. But have it set up where you can change the height and stuff like that. A little more dynamics, hairstyles and stuff. I was at it with all these mods from Fallout 3 or even from New Vegas. There's a lot of them from New Vegas and Fallout 3 I actually like. Uh, yeah, and like I said before, like paranoia and stuff. I don't know if I said it completely correct of how I want it. Like when I talked about San Francisco, in the San Francisco section, there'll be a hidden place, and like in Fallout One Reloaded and Fallout Two Reloaded, which would be um, the facility that is reminiscent of the game Paranoia. If you ever played it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, okay. Paranoia is kind of like the Fallout series, except um, everybody is within the facility, the complex, which is basically like a multi-leveled, faceted vault, as it were. Yeah, but their computers were during the war were connected with each other, but kind of lost connection or whatever, and they all need like security codes to even talk to each other. So they think each of these facilities thinks they're the only survivor of you know of the war, more or less. And if they have any communication, get communication back with the other complexes, they think the others are liars. And instead of having the complex ruled by a person like an overseer, it's actually ruled by two organizations. One is the chief ruler, which happens to rule everything, which is the computer. And then there's the programmers, which their rank is ultraviolet, because in the game they have rank. You start out as infrared, which your color is black, and then ultraviolet, they wear white. So there's infrared, red, um, orange, yellow. I think you have green, blue, and then you have is violet, basically purple, but we call it violet, and infrared. Yeah, green. Yeah. So, and as you're going down there, the computer will want you as a member of their complex, and they'll scan you for to wipe out any radiation, clean your character of radiation, and since you have viable biomaterial that basically people don't realize, if you don't know about paranoia. Paranoia, all the people that live in the complex are clones. So when you make a character in Paranoia, you have multiple clones. So if you die, your next clone wakes up from the vat, but is also given all the information that the previous clone has, but has to deny of certain things, such as all clones. I'm just letting you know, people that don't realize that the game, all clones have, when you create it, have a superpower of some sort, but they have to hide the fact that they have this power, because if they are notified, if anybody knows it, or even the computer finds out, them and their clones would be completely wiped out, such as is considered a mutation and whatever. You know, to cleanse you from. Plus, you get is like, uh, you do is a stupid test, kind of like the goat. And this, by the way, Paranoia is a game that was created way before, over a decade before, Fallout was. Believe it or not, I played it in the 80s and 90s, late 80s and 90s. So yeah, so yeah, and since their technology is much more different than Fallout, it's like similar and different. Well, you have is different factions within the Paranoia, because it's not just a post-war apocalyptic game, but it's also talks about the policies, the fears of, you know, during the 80s, and also the Red Scare of the 50s, that type of shit. Yeah, it's mixing and making fun of different sci-fi, genres and shit, storylines. Yeah. So yeah, but I would have a reference in that, so you end up in the San Francisco complex, which will be kind of huge, a huge map, more or less. But you're only access to like a part of it, more or less. Specifying probably it was destroyed or something, or whatever. I don't know, but it's like, how much can I show? If I was making it, that's how I was thinking about it. But still, you get to enter, and you have a choice. You want to enter it. If you do, you have to be cleaned, and you have to do is your stuff has to be taken away from you for the safety of you and all the citizens, and then you'll be issued new uniform, so you wander around in the complex, with other ridiculous rules and shit like that. Plus, they want you for your genetic material, so they can make better clones, make more clones of you and whatever. And you could end up staging a coup and escaping as people if you want. But yeah, I would have is Fallout 2 Reloaded would be same storyline as the original Fallout 2. All in 3D graphics and whatever, similar engine. Like I said, was Fallout 1 Reloaded. Yeah, so that was just an idea I had yesterday. So, thinking about Fallout 4 and watching some of the videos of people playing, Fallout 1 and 2, because Fallout 4 is coming out and they just couldn't get enough of Fallout now. The other. So, I was just thinking about that, about how to remake an old game and make it new to where people would actually play it. How would the game end? Well, you would still be called Chosen One, instead of your character name, or just talk to you. Same type of things you run into, like you did in Fallout 1, or Fallout 2, actually, and Fallout 1 Reloaded. Yeah. Um, what else? Hmm, more weapons and armor and equipment. More ideas stolen from mods of Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. Yeah, that's basically what I would have done. I would have took the engine for Fallout 3 or New Vegas or whatever, and then just modify it. Uh, and then I would do is take a lot of mods, character modification, mods and hair mods and stuff like that, have it already attached to the game as part of it. So character creation, you can choose hairstyles and colors and all yada yada yada. Kind of more like in Skyrim. I actually like Skyrim. It's actually a pretty good game. I haven't beaten it because I don't actually own the game. I have only played, friends' copies. I've played it at, Anime Expo when it first came out, so long ago. But it was like the game of the time. Still is a really good game. I don't care what people say, and I think there should be like a new version of Fallout Online. Yes, I know the original Fallout Online was never completed, but there has been people that made Fallout Online Reloaded, which uses the Fallout 2 game as the base source and then added more stuff onto it. And actually, I've been playing that. That is for another video. I'll talk about that later. But I still think a 3D version would be done good. If they can't, I think they should have done that for Elder Scrolls series when they did the Elder Scroll Online. They should have done it better. I'll tell them, John.